South African tribe.
Hello everyone. Today I have a chance to speak with Isabell. Isabell is a new member of personal branding program. And Isabell, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me, first of all. Well, I'm Isabell. I'm 28 years old from Sweden. I'm currently living in Costa Rica. Right now, I'm in Texas visiting family. But my life story is, in short, it was kind of hard growing up. I was abused at the age of 3 to 5. And that affected me a lot. And later on in life, I got abused by my stepfather. And me and my mom basically had to run for our lives, hide in women's shelter. My whole teenage life was catastrophic, you would say. I was turning to alcohol, drug abuse, very self-sabotage, abuse towards myself. I made very poorly decisions, and it just went down in a down spiral, basically. So after my third suicidal attempt, I decided that either I have to go all in and try to fix my life, fix myself, and get healthy, or I will die. So that was my turning point in life, and I was 19 years old at this time. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to pick my bags, and I moved to Norway, started fresh, and I built myself up, saved a lot of money, and I went on a world tour. So I started to build myself up, meeting people that could teach me something about growth and, like how to heal yourself. And I found amazing people on that road. And when I was in Zambia, Livingstone, I actually met my husband while bungee jumping, and he was working for United Nations in Congo. But he was from Uruguay. So anyway, our story started there. My life-changing story really started on that world trip. And so I took all of the knowledge I got, and I started to create my own course or coaching program to help other women or other people who have been through not only abuse, but, a lot of hard trauma stuff, and now living through the consequences of their trauma and wanting to get out of it. So I created also a book called Isabell Then Now, which goes hand in hand with my documentary movie about my life. Because a few years ago, me and my mom decided that we wanted to share our story, because we didn't want our story to just be, a story just running out in the sand. We wanted to make a change, because it's so many people living with abusers with their children, and it's like nobody hands you a map of life telling you this is how you do if you come in a situation like this, or this is how you turn, to get help. So we wanted to make a change. So we got contacted by this documentary Film and Tell in Sweden, and they followed us for 5 years, making a documentary about our lives and how we got back together, me and my mom, building a relationship, because our relationship was totally broken after this time. I mean, I was lost. I was, 15 years old when we got away from this abuser, and then we have to create our lives again. So this documentary movie also won an award for the best documentary 2017, the Kristallen Award, which was huge for us, but also it got the knowledge that we wanted it to have. And by telling our story, the documentary is called Say Something, which is very powerful for me, because that is what I stand for. Like, you have to say something to make a change. You have to also say something to impact other people, right? So Say Something won an award, and all because of that, we also started to open up, and we started to talk to politicians and people like higher ranking with higher voices than us. So right now we are in a law change in Sweden because of all of this. So that is actually huge. So that is basically my story. Today I'm a life coach. I teach women how to gain their confidence back, get out of their insecurities, and move past all the things that they're living through, the consequences of their traumas right now. So that is what I'm doing. And I'm also doing masterminds in Costa Rica together with my husband. So that is very exciting.
How many languages you are originally from Sweden?
Yeah, I speak 4.
Oh wow.
I speak Swedish, Norwegian, English, and Spanish. So when I moved to Costa Rica with my husband last year, I started to learn Spanish. I'm not fluent. I understand most of it, but I can speak. Yeah.
And how is to be like in Costa Rica for somebody who is from Sweden? What, like, can you just compare the cultures and the people and
the culture is very, very different. I mean, let's start with saying like the weather is fantastic in Costa Rica. I don't have to freeze, so that is really good. But the standards of living is completely different. Also, I think usually when I travel, I love to travel. That is one of my passions. But when I first came there, I realized how everything works back in Sweden, like addresses and stuff. We don't have addresses there. So basically, if you want to go somewhere, you have to like find like the big bank, and then to the right of the bank, you have to turn left. So that's one thing, and we try to help the community a lot with our masterminds as well. We get chefs that comes in. They're from Costa Rica. Last mastermind, we also collected in money for a new house for a family there. So we try to involve the community because the people there are very poor. So we want to try to help as much as we can, right? And I think that the more you travel and the more you come to countries that are, not in the highest standard that I come from, you want to help, and you realize how good you have it over there, right? Like everything works, like there's electricity, like, I don't even have to worry. It just comes off from my bank account every month. I'm paying all my bills, but there I have to go to a certain bank to pay things, and I need to have a certain number and stuff. So it's different, but you're learning, right?
And yes, if you can also share more about the upcoming events. You mentioned you have some mastermind for in September this year.
Yeah, September. Yeah, so my coaching program is called Rebuild Your Life program. It's either 4 weeks, 3 months, or 6 months, right? So I work together with women, and I'm helping them gaining their confidence, getting out of their insecurities, and also that self-saboteur pattern that we usually go into if we have been through a lot of stuff in our past lives. And it's so easy to keep going as a victim and not realizing that we're living as a victim in our own lives, And the more we get knowledge and tools to get ourselves from this state to this state that we want to become, the easier it gets. But we need help. Like I take help from my coaches. I have 2 coaches. I always want to grow, and I always want to know more stuff. And by going through this program, you will not only change your life, but the way you think and the way you see things from your perspective, and it open up. It's like a mind shift, yeah. Is we have different masterminds. I am doing a women empowerment mastermind this September for only women. So we are flying in experts from around the world to come and teach in their specific field about what they're an expert in, right? And then we have activities, we have massages, we have spa days for the women. Everything is included. It's in a huge mansion in Costa Rica with an amazing view. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we do meditation every morning. We do yoga every morning. And then we make sure we train and we eat healthy. We have our own chef there. And we have round tables, so every participant that comes that can talk about their problems, and the expert will actually go into their specific problems in their life and help them. So we're going to be 5 experts And last December, we had the high-end business entrepreneur mastermind. So it was experts from around the world coming and teaching people how to scale their business. So it was absolutely fantastic. So many breakthroughs. When you sit together in small groups and really talk about problems, and you empower each other with knowledge, things just happen, and it's magic. So that was amazing. So I wanted to take that time to create my own mastermind for only women, because we all know what happens when women comes together, right? It's just amazing. Right? Women are so powerful, but we are not taught that we are so powerful. But by creating a platform like you have too, just putting women in there and empowering each other, inspiring each other, like we create magical things. But then we also have a mastermind in June, which is going to be the same, but it's going to be in Spanish only, and it's only going to be for high-end business entrepreneurs.
That's what I want to ask you. So the mastermind in September is going to be for women only, and the main language, the official language will be English, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So the one in September is it's main language English.
And do you already know the dates? Do you already know when in September, beginning of September, or?
Yeah, it's going to be from the middle of September to the end. We are planning to have 2 after each other. Okay. So it's going to start from the 16th all the way to the 29th.
And when is the booking deadline?
It's going to be open in like 2 weeks for bookings. Mm-hmm. And because we're studying in all of the experts right now. So we're signing contracts with experts and seeing who's going to be in what mastermind. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to open everything for the clients. So you can buy tickets up to like a week before the mastermind. So you have all the way to September to purchase your ticket.
And for how many participants?
15. 15 each mastermind is for 15 people.
15 people. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all members of the Personal Branding Program, this is your time if you really want to enjoy a great mastermind with Isabell in a beautiful venue in Costa Rica. Please reach out to Isabell, and you can see also the contact information and enjoy. I wish if I can go, but you said it's only for women, so I can send maybe my wife or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we have 4 other masterminds at least this year, so you're more than welcome to come to one of the other ones.
I also would like to know, like, what is the mission of this business for you? What personally this means for you, and how do you see your business will be in the next few years?
No. For me, helping other people gives me so much. Like it's on a level where you have had a coaching meeting with somebody and they have had a mind shift and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing something new, And for me, that gives me so much because I'm living my purpose, I'm living and giving back to somebody else. And also because I have been through so much in my life. And when I look back, I want to become the person that I needed 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And I want to reach out and be that person for that other human being, And the masterminds is more like, it gives not only a network of new people and new friends, but also coming together, building something that huge. It creates massive waves of change, in people's lives. They come back and they tell other people and, they know more so they can teach other people. So it's just, for me, in both a selfish and unselfish way, it gives me something to give to somebody else, and also I get to learn so much by meeting all these people all the time, so it's like a give and give, right? So for the future, I just want to help more and more women specific because I'm closer to the women. I am a woman myself, so I can connect to them. But I just want to help people, and that's my goal, that's my purpose, and that's my dream. I just want to become the best version of myself so I can teach other people.
So for all of women who are watching this video right now and who might feel like now they are in very difficult situation, they maybe don't have a courage even to talk about the problems, or maybe they are like their relationship is broken, they don't feel well, and what will be your advice for them, how they can overcome this difficult situation which they are facing right now, and how to go to the level when you actually start to see some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's about starting, right? You know, you are on one stage in your life and you actually don't want to be there. And I mean, it's about taking these small steps each and every day. It's not about the big step. I always thought that it was going to be like a huge step. That's how you change your life. No, it's consistent, taking these small steps each and every day. Get new habits. Read books, specific. I would say read books. You know, today we have everything on internet. Like if you need help with anything, if you need to learn something, you can go on YouTube, you can search about it. You know, Google is my best friend. I need something, I go to Google, you know. But also knowing that you're not alone. Like that is the main thing I always say. You are not alone. For so many years I thought I was alone, nobody understood me. I felt like, you know, an outsider. I had so many emotions, I didn't know where they came from. But you are so not alone. And the more you reach out, the more you can speak, say, hey, I don't feel well. Or, you know, right now it's not a good time in my life. I need somebody to talk to. So many people that like live and live their lives for helping other people. So just know that you're not alone. Say something and start learning. That is my biggest suggestion. Like learn, read, get in contact with people. Yeah, absolutely.
And go to Costa Rica to have the mastermind with the beautiful environment.
Absolutely. Like if you're in that position, you need to come to Costa Rica. We have sun there, we have good food there, we have experts there. You're gonna change your life completely. That's what I would say. Yes.
And for the end of this interview, sometimes I have some question which is unexpected. Even sometimes I don't know what that question might be. So if you don't mind, can you let us know, if you can look into your life, is there anything you will do differently with all experience which you have now, or you will do exactly the same as you did it?
You know what? Sometimes I can think about it like, would I change something? I mean, I've hurt people because of my selfish way, you know, in the past, because I didn't know better. I wish I wouldn't break, you know, somebody's heart the way I did at one point. Yes. But at the same time, I've learned so much from my mistakes and from everything I've done. You know, the worst person I've ever hurt was myself. I was in the spiral of self-abuse, self-sabotage pattern for so long. And if I would go back and I would change that, I wouldn't know what I know today. And I wouldn't be able to help other people the way I help them today, right? So I would say like, no, I don't think so.
Thank you so much for being honest with us. This is a beautiful message for all of us. And Isabell, I want you all the best with preparation for your masterclass, not only in September, but also for the previous one. And thank you for being part of our community. Looking forward to talk more with you about your upcoming projects. And again, for all women in our community and all for people who are watching this video, they are not part of our community, please be free to reach out to Isabell. And if you can make it, go to Costa Rica this September.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me here. I'm so happy. Thank you.